Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Jillian Murphy. Jillian will be sharing more about her founding story and giving us a glimpse into plans for future growth. Jillian, welcome to Founders Future. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to get to know you a little bit better and also pour into your audience today.
As am I. Let's do this. Let's dive into it. And Jillian, with all of my guests, I do actually like to start at the beginning of their journey. Sure. So if you don't mind briefly taking me back to what it was you was doing before you jumped into the coaching space, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Absolutely. So I always like to let people know that I was absolutely an accidental entrepreneur. I was a ride or die corporate person. I planned on retiring from our company. I would have tattooed our company's name across my forehead. I was a ride or die corporate person. And I had been in food service distribution sales for about 23 years. And our company actually got sold to a private equity firm. And when our company actually got sold, they realized that people who are making a hell of a lot of money in our corporate job could be replaced with people who were just coming out of college. So our top 10 highest paid people in the company got let go. I was completely blindsided. I had no idea this was going to happen. And I went into work on a Monday and lost my job of, almost 2.5 decades. So at that point, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I had a God-given talent or whatever it is that you guys believe in for sales. And it was right during the time of the pandemic where everybody was moving online. Everyone was bringing their coaching businesses online, their private practices online. And I said, I'm going to take every single skill set that I have from corporate and basically now just teach people in the entrepreneurial space. So that was a little bit of my journey. And now, we run an incredible company over here, which I'm sure we'll dive into more on the podcast.
We will do. And thank you so much for sharing that journey. Not often do people come in admitting they never wanted to be an entrepreneur. So how did you find that switch when that kind of eventually happened? Was it just something that naturally felt good, or did you really have to fight for it?
I think what really happened to me was I was so blindsided by losing my job in corporate that it was at that point that I said, I'm never going to let somebody else control my income. So even if I had to take a pay decrease, which we didn't, we skyrocketed, but I said, even if I have to take a pay decrease, I'm going to fully own my company, my benefits, all of those things. So that was a pretty big shift into it. But yeah, I don't come from an entrepreneurial family. I don't have really entrepreneurial friends. So I was definitely going into it pretty blind.
Okay. And I mean, I think that's kind of nice though, because you, as you say, you had that drive to, okay, I'm now in control of my own future and this is what we're going to do. So it
Yeah.
just kind of shifted you into gear six and was like, we're going to hit the road and scale from here, which
Yeah.
is kind of a blessing in disguise, which is really cool. So let's dive into the business a little bit more then. So let's kind of have some context moving forward.
Yeah.
So who would you say at this point is your ideal client? Who do you very, very much love to work with? And then from there,
Yeah.
how is it you help and support them along that journey?
So this is such a great question. And I'm probably one of the only people that you have on your podcast that doesn't actually niche down at all. And when I look at my clients, I have people who are real estate agents. I have people that own med spas. I have coaches, consultants, healers, service-based providers, people that own construction company, because at the end of the day, they all have the same challenges. How to generate leads into the business, right? Doesn't matter if you're a gym or you're a coach, you still need people at the top of your funnel. From there, it's how does your marketing attract them that they should be purchasing from you or going into your gym or going to your restaurant or your coffee shop. And then from there, it's how do we actually close the sale? So I work with every business on kind of these three main points: leads coming in, your messaging and your marketing to keep them, and then however it is that you're closing. So yeah, and I work with both men, I work with both women, I work with people who are just starting out and people that have 9 and 10 figure companies.
Yeah, I love that. And sales is, as you say, it's applicable to anything. I feel like if you can do sales, you can literally do anything in life.
Literally.
One of those, you just pick up such great people skills, psychology skills, whatever it may be, communication skills, and they
Yeah.
are applicable to all industries. So it does make sense without the niche.
Yeah.
But then what is it like to work with you, Gillian? So how do you go about your coaching? Is this on a one-to-one level? Walk
Yeah.
me through it if I was, on board with you now as a client.
Yeah, so I have a couple different ways to work with us, and it's really come based on what does my audience want. I've never created anything that I wanted to create. It was really what's the need of the market right now. So my main way to work with me is one-on-one consulting, which I love to do. We do everything from a 3 month, a 6 months, or even a year. And this is more like a fractional sales manager in your business. So this would be someone who's like walking alongside of you and doing like the day-to-day work with you. I
Mm.
also do VIP days, which is like one of our number one sellers, where you just bring me all the shit you have and we just like unpack it in 4 hours. So maybe it's your messaging, your marketing, your content, your sales, your strategy, like, and we just basically break it down in a 4 hour segment. Or I have a signature group program where I have about 53 people in that right now. And what we do is we go through the same things on repeat: messaging, marketing, and sales, but there's no one on one attention. One thing that I really pride myself on in the coaching space is nothing that I do is cookie cutter. So
Mm.
everyone in that industry, everyone in my coaching program has a different business. So I'm really hands-on in every business, but inside of Infinity, which is my main program, you're not getting like custom one-on-one time with me.
Yeah, but very tailored approach still, even though it's
Very tailored.
one-on-one, which is so needed and so different because a lot of people, it is just that oh my God,
Yeah.
cookie cutter approach, especially when it does come to sales. They just think it's applicable no matter the
Yeah.
industry, no matter the income, but it really isn't.
It's so true because a lot of my clients are closing via email. A lot of
Yeah,
my closing clients are closing on sales calls. A lot of my clients are closing during like a managed chat bot. So it's like every single person that I work with has a different business and a
yeah.
different business model. And then I tailor it to like, number one, where are they good? And number two, what's the lifestyle that they're trying to build around that?
Yeah, and then also like, at the end of that, you're saying you've got to have different buyers in different avenues, and maybe via email, DMs, on a call.
Yeah.
So you also have to take ability the type of people you're reaching out to as well, with the marketing and
Yeah.
suit around them too. But obviously, without the niche, how do you go about marketing yourself? Like, what channels, what methods you really find it most effective without
Yeah.
narrowing down too much?
So number one is podcasting.
Sick.
So I have been on over 400 podcasts to date, and that is absolutely our biggest visibility because think about this. I'm on a podcast right now, maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and this is going to go out to your entire audience. If I do a podcast every day or 4 times a week or 10 times a month, it's so inexpensive for visibility and it's not costing me anything other than 30 minutes to be here right now. So I'm a huge believer in podcasting for top of funnel if you're a good speaker. So one of the very first things you said to me was like, "Oh, this is going to be a great podcast because you have great energy." Not all of my clients I recommend going on podcasts because maybe they don't articulate well, maybe they don't have good energy. So for us, we're really fortunate because I speak well and I have good energy. So podcasting is great. We also have our own podcast that we drop 2 to 3 episodes a week on. So that really shortens my sales cycle because people come in, they're learning from me, they're short,
Yeah.
quick, tactical things. And then my social media content. I am a content machine. I put out 2 to 3 pieces of content a day because, again, it's all just top of funnel. But I
Mm.
think people are also really intrigued by the fact that we run just under a 7 figure agency over here, and I do no sales calls. I don't have a website. I don't have sales pages, and we don't have applications. And I don't have anyone in my DMs other than me. So why
Okay.
people are so impressed by this is because it really is the foundation of sales, which is like true, genuine connections, which I think a lot of people have gotten away from.
Very true. It was actually earlier on, someone was telling me we're in like a trust recession, which comes
Totally.
back to that connection asset.
Yeah.
It is people are looking for people they can actually trust because it's so diluted at the moment when it comes to marketing.
It
But
is. And people are saying they're experts when they're really not. They're saying, oh, I'm a sales expert, but like, no offense, you were a stay-at-home mom 30 days ago. Like, you've never even had like a sales position, right? It's like those types of things. And people are shocked when they're in my DMs and I send them a voice memo. They're like, this is actually you. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course it's me. Who else would it be? So I feel like I just have such an upper hand because I'm not falling to all those things that everybody else is doing.
yeah. And do you run any form of like ad campaigns and stuff to just bring in more traffic and drive it like that, or is it just purely organic outreach?
It's purely organic. And also, like, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I have only about 8,000 followers. So I don't have a very big audience. I've never gone viral. My reels get like an average of like 1,000 views. It's all about the right messaging to
Yeah,
the right leads. So,
literally.
we grew our business to 6 figures in under 500 followers. We grew it to multiple 6 figures at about 2,000 followers. And then again, we're just sitting under 7 figures at like 8,000 followers. And it's not about volume.
No. It's about quality. I
Hmm.
know that's a big key to that as well, as you say, like
Yeah.
reaching that quality of people. And a podcast is amazing. I feel like more long form content is really coming back into play at the moment. It kind of dropped off the edge a little bit with the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
But if you've got someone that is paying attention, whether you're a guest on a podcast or hosting your own, someone paying attention to you for 15 to 20 minutes, you would hope
Yeah.
once they kind of get to that point, they do want to talk to you and they do know you and resonate with your journey and your story.
Yeah.
So obviously, no sales calls needed. So do you
Mhm.
have like a team that are helping you out at all, or is it pretty much just you on your own at the moment, Jillian?
It's all me. I've tried to hire a couple closers in the past. It just did not work out. It's just, it's a lot to train someone to talk like you, be like you, energize like you. And I'm at a point in my business that I delegate everything else other than the things that only I can do. So the only things I do in my business are number one, I'm on podcasts because my team can't be here talking for me. I coach my clients because they're paying to be coached with me, and I do all of my own social media and DM conversations. Now, if I didn't have a team supporting me doing everything else, and when I say everything else, I mean they're like making dentist appointments, they're ordering my groceries, like they're doing everything so that I can stay in my zone of genius.
I love it. So we've outsourced the PA work, we've outsourced
Yes.
the home care work that we don't want to do, and we're
Yep.
literally sticking to the zone of brilliance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, so what are your plans for the future? Like, what, when you think of like, obviously with the new year, so when you think of scaling business 2026 coming up,
Yeah.
not even coming up, we're in 2026
We're
now.
in it. We're here, baby.
Riding it. What is that vision look like to you when you think of scaling it? Like, what is the goal you kind of set out in your brain?
Yeah, so obviously we have some really big income goals this year, but what I will say is I've been an entrepreneur for almost 5 years and I've been chasing dollar amounts that didn't necessarily feel good to me and even wasn't even what I wanted. I think this is really easy for people to happen in the online space. We see people making 3 million bucks, 5 million bucks, 10 million bucks, and we think that we need to do that.
Yeah.
And what I've decided in 2026, while the business will grow, it's more about really honoring my like personal life this year. So I'm making some changes. I'm moving out of Arizona, moving closer to my family, going to be traveling a little bit more. And obviously because I know how to sell, I'm able to generate income, but for so long, I've only been chasing an income dollar amount, and now I'm really chasing like a life goal.
Yeah, that's so cool. And again, one of the benefits of being a founder or an entrepreneur, other than working in corporate, you do have so much more
Yeah.
like license over how you live your own life.
Yep.
And that's really, really cool to see. So the business is, are you still obviously going to scale, but you're taking a little bit separate time in there. Where are
Yep.
you probably like in general though, like when you do think about the business, where do you find the biggest challenge for yourself? Because talking to you, Gillian, you do sound like you take everything in your stride, which is a very good like
Yeah.
mindset and attitude to have.
I would say the biggest challenge for me in the business is wanting everything tomorrow. Like we see everything online and we see Amazon Prime and right. And we just have to realize that like our business is going to grow at the pace in which we're growing. So I'll tell you a real
Yeah.
quick story. There was a podcast that I wanted to be on for like 5 years and I did everything I could to get on this podcast. And I was finally on it just recently. This podcast has like millions and millions and millions and millions of downloads, right? And it was in that moment that I reminded myself that I would not have been able to have this level of conversations 2 years ago. I would not have even been able to handle the business that came after that podcast. So I think so often, like we're chasing, myself included, like the next thing, but we're not actually even ready for it. And it really is about whatever you believe in, like the timing of that.
Yeah, that's so good and such a good point. And just to match that, I have one final question to ask you.
Yeah.
So, if you could go back in time to a younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself, Gillian?
I would say if I had give myself a younger piece of advice that everything that you're going through right now will lead you to be successful later. So maybe you're going through a breakup or a divorce or a job layoff or an illness, whatever it is, and it feels like you were in the rockiest of moments. And I've gone through all of those things. It really is forming you to be the person that then can later grow and expand.
I love that. That's
Thank you.
such good. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and
Yeah.
insight with us. Where can our listeners, Gillian, reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. Come over to Instagram. It's the Jillian Murphy. We'd love to connect and get to know you. Slide into my DMs. It's absolutely me. And, from one podcaster to another, we always love to share our podcast. Our podcast is called Scale Your Sales. We have incredible topics and incredible conversations over there. Very short episodes, 8 to 15 minutes, just like yours. So come over and check out the podcast.
There we go. We've got another one to check out after this one.
Thank you.
Remind me of the name again?
Scale Your Sales.
Scale your sales. So, to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and check out Jillian and scale your sales. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And probably
Absolutely.
subscribe to Jillian as well while you're over there. But thank you again. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing, and we will see you on the next one.